get unready with me while I tell you a couple of rules that we had to live by while at the college that I went to. So I went to essentially a private Christian college. Pretty much kids from specific churches were allowed to go to this college, and so I'm gonna tell you some of the rules that we had to go by. First off, rule number 1, no tattoos at all, none whatsoever. Second rule, could only have 1 piercing in your lobe at a time, couldn't have any of the extra ones. Rule number 3, girls were not allowed to wear pants, and the skirts that you would have to wear had to be at least, we're gonna go with the original rule that I was told growing up, which was 2 inches below the knee. Rule number, I think, 4, you had to have a filter on your phone. Whether your parents put this filter on your phone or whether the college put this filter on your phone, it didn't matter. You had to have a filter on your phone, and they wanted this filter on your phone so that you couldn't look up corn, and then they didn't want you being able to look up and use dating websites, which if anyone is gonna look up a dating anything, is probably gonna be an app, not a website. Luckily, I had a friend who showed me how to shut off all of the Googling stuff myself, so I didn't have to put the filter on my phone. The kids at the college who did have the filter on their phone, it wasn't letting your phone run as properly as it should because Apple was flagging it as a virus. Rule number 5, we all had curfews, and you had to follow said curfew unless you were working late. And the only people who were allowed to work late were either A, approved people who could work late, or B, if you were a guy. Other than that, everyone had to be at the college by, I think it was 10 o'clock. That sounds about right. Number 6, girls were not allowed to wear the Empire waistline, especially if you had a lot of boob. You were not allowed to wear Empire waistlines because it curved your boobs too much and it put a shape around your boobs too much. Oh, you also, like, if I was wearing this, I wasn't allowed to wear something like this, a t-shirt or sweatshirt or whatever, because the words were right across my chest and it drew too much attention to my chest. Another thing, number maybe 7, I don't know. Girls were not allowed to go downstairs in the atrium with wet hair because that was going to be too much of a distraction and temptation to the boys. Number 8, I think boys always had to have shaved faces. They had to have clean faces. They couldn't grow any kind of facial hair whatsoever, even if they were married. And even then, if you did grow facial hair, it had to be approved by your pastor, I think, is what it was. And everyone had to dress business casual all the time. Boys were required to wear polo shirts and ties all the time. You weren't allowed to wear any denim in the atrium. You weren't allowed to wear denim, so skirts, denim, jeans, wasn't allowed to do any of that. Last one, your hair color had to be that of a natural color. So you couldn't go to classes or anything like that with any crazy colored hair, so no purple, no pink, no blue. Personally, was confronted one time about a hair color that I had. I went on Christmas break with something pretty close to like this, and then while on Christmas break, I dyed my hair a burgundy reddish color, which it didn't look crazy by any stretch. I should never have done it, but it didn't look crazy by any stretch of the imagination. But I had a staff guy stop me at one point and was like, hey, so is that school approved? And I was like, well, there's nothing in the rule book about it. I looked and there's nothing there. Then I left that school year. Next thing I found out, there was a new rule in the rule book. So that's all I have for this video. If you want to know any more or if you have any more questions, go ahead and ask.